tremendous looking trophy.
One number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here in the last week pre-Ghosts.
I mean, it's
Tsushima.
the week of Ghosts. Really.
Yeah.
Well, in case people don't know, it's out Friday,
Yeah.
right?
The last PS4 exclusive game.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be some random thing that comes out
probably.
that isn't like a PlayStation game, but like maybe a third party, but they exclusively put it on PlayStation.
Or like some smallest...
Some
like
anime game or some shit that
Yeah.
only comes to, or some random JRPG or something. But yeah, the last big PS4 game that is coming up. So this week on the show in Trophy Cabinet, bronze trophy for Kurosawa mode being called Kurosawa mode. Goes to Tsushima. And we have a silver trophy for Amazon having PS5 stuff up on Amazon, which we'll go over first because so this story got posted.
Wait. No gold? No platinum?
No.
This episode sucks. Trophy hunters, just skip this episode. It's not worth.
Look, I'm doing a secret strike, and if anyone listening's picked up on it, then you're being very smart. But my secret strike is we're no longer giving out platinums to every episode until PlayStation does the same thing with their games. Then I'll change back the trophy cabinet on this show to include a platinum with every episode.
We'll go back, edit every episode, and
Have
put
a
in
platinum.
platinums.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like PlayStation should do.
If they do it, then I'll be a man of my word. I'll go back and they just
Even
randomly
the episodes
cut in.
where we didn't do the platinum bit.
I would be very willing if they would actually do that. Like the amount of effort it would take me would be worth it to get some more platinums going for games that deserve platinums. So just saying, this is my secret strike. So if you
Come on,
that's
PlayStation, give Ghost of Tsushima a platinum. It deserves it.
I mean, not to break the bubble, but I think Ghost of Tsushima is fine.
Right. Give
Gone Home.
Last of Us Part 2 a platinum. Deserves it.
I don't think you get the trophy thing, but it's okay. You've got like another 100 and
They all
Insane.
count, apparently.
okay. Yep. Apple on Amazon. Press Start posted this thing on Amazon a couple of days ago. Well, it was like a day ago as recording, so 2 days ago by the time you're listening to this, guys. So they wrote, Amazon Australia has today listed PS5 consoles, games, accessories, suggesting that pre-orders could be close. This marks the first retailer in the world who do actually create proper product listings for the PS5 console, games, and accessories. It's obviously not 100% confirmed, but this does show that we're potentially closer to finding out the PS5 release date, price, and pre-orders going live. So they have up PS5 console, PS5 digital edition console, DualSense controller, DualSense charging station, PS5 media remote, HD camera, 3D headset, NBA 2K21, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank, Demon's Souls, Gran Turismo 7, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and Returnal. All the things currently up on Amazon. Maybe more's been added, maybe stuff's been removed by the time this exists. As of now, this all still exists though. But they posted this it was like early Monday. Yeah, it was like early Monday. And then people, myself included, were like, oh, maybe that means, because we usually reach that point around 1 a.m. Tuesday morning where something drops. Usually someone announces something or news starts dropping. So I was like, oh, maybe this is all up on Amazon and they're going to announce pre-orders are going live tonight. But that hasn't happened. There are other rumors that the other rumor was pre-orders would start going live at later today, as of recording, was the other rumor. I don't know where this one's come from. However, it was a rumor that was circulating where that was going to go live at 12 PT. I don't know, whatever. It would work out to be like later this afternoon. So after we've recorded this episode. So if that happens, that happens. I think it would be random. I have nothing against them. Like, I don't think they need a state of play to announce the
Price.
The price or the pre-order.
Yep.
I don't think, like, I know everyone. It's weird that in previous, like in gaming history, the price reveal's always kind of been like something that gets revealed on a stage and then everyone like cheers and claps. It's like, you can just kind of tweet that out or put that in a Wired article or even a PS blog post, like, don't need to make a big deal about it. Just
give us what we want. Give us some weird stream of nothing but your weird logo things you had during the PS5 event thing. And then at the end, it reveals everything. Have it running for like 8-12 hours.
I was about
No
to say,
set time of when it's going to be reeled.
Yeah, I was about to say, you gotta run it for a very long time and never say actually when the pre-orders are gonna.
And just hide random numbers through the.
Don't let Hideo Kojima market your console. It's I think the key.
I don't know. Worked pretty good for Death Stranding, so.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know, like this is legit compared to like, and it's up on Australian Amazon as well, so it's not like you know how sometimes like it's not the Canadian Walmart or something that just leaks stuff consistently. This is something a little bit different. So even if the pre-orders don't go up today or whatever, I would definitely feel safe saying that they must be coming soon, or else like why is this up? Like it has to be ballpark soonish to be happening. Like I know there's the rumor that they're going to do a state of play in August to follow up Xbox's event at the end of this month, and that would make sense. But really, are they going to have all this stuff up waiting for potentially 3 weeks? That'd be quite weird, you know. So also, I feel like I need at least 24 hours heads up is the bare minimum I'm asking for here. You know, like pre-orders will go live tomorrow, 9 a.m. your local time or whatever, you know, so everyone can be ready, sitting there, ready to pre-order and go for gold. Yeah. Talking about PS5 stuff though.
Actually, one interesting thing is they've got the NBA 2K21 prices listed on which is the only one that's listed on the Amazon thing, and it is like $10 more than it usually is. So it's $109.95 for the regular edition of NBA 2K on the PlayStation 5.
I guess that's the only one they can have a price for because the rest are.
Well, I guess they did confirm it beforehand. Like,
yeah,
2K have already come out and said, so that makes sense. But we'll see.
Let me get your impressions on the PS5 Box Art because that's the other thing that dropped in the past week. It's so funny looking at the blog post because the blog post literally goes a sneak peek at what PS5 games will look like, and you see them on store shelves this holiday. A quick update for our fans. Here's your first look at the box art for PS5 games. Here's the box art. Any thoughts on the new logo? So the one they showed off was the Spider-Man Miles Morales one. Since then, we've also had the Godfall box art leak, but I'm just looking at the Spider-Man one because that's the first and key one here. I mean, yep, I have no problem. This is my thought. My thoughts on box art is I don't really particularly care too much. Like I know everyone on the internet was like, "Oh, that white part looks weird," and I'm like, "Does it just look weird because?" Yeah, I'm like, you get used to it pretty quickly. And also, is it just standing out more in this box art? Because, like, this game has a black background.
Yeah.
Maybe other games will have lighter backgrounds, and then it won't be so much of a standout thing. Yeah. How do you feel about the...
Yeah, I don't have an issue. I think it looks fine. It looks like a normal game case. I guess the white will obviously make it distinguish itself on shelves more from the PS4 games. And that would be the main reason they've changed the color scheme. That and just fitting in with the white of the console.
Yeah.
And I think we should all just get on board. It's going to be white. They've clearly decided that's the color for this generation. Or lack of color, whatever you want to describe it as. I'd be interested if they possibly threw around the idea of like the white case as well. But they probably just had a bunch of those cases left from PS4. I assume it's the exact same case. It's just different.
Yeah, but I believe so.
Insert,
My other thing is that, so let's say we get the PS5, whatever they call it now, the hits range.
Yes.
Could you make that case? PS5 hits are white, you know?
Maybe.
Like white cases. That'd make them stand out. Well, the PS5 hits in America, I don't think they're the same here, but in America, they always have red cases that I've seen. But here, they're not like that, are they? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No, but every time I see pictures from America, the hits ones are red, and I'm like, that's cool. That stands out, obviously, on a shelf. The only other thing that's red is a Switch, but completely different size case. So it's hard to get those confused. What are your thoughts on the Miles Morales cover art in general? Because that was another thing when this came out. People were getting up.
It's pretty generic. I mean, if that is definitely going to be the final box art, I'd be kind of surprised.
I mean, I don't think it's much different to the first one, though, right? Like, Spider-Man 1 was just...
Yeah, Spider-Man was just Spider-Man on like a red background, so, I mean, it's kind of fitting with the theme.
All right, let's go over the PlayStation Store June top downloads, because I thought there was some interesting things in here. Now, this on the PlayStation blog, they have both. They have EU, and then they have US and Canada. And there are a few things that I'm like, that is interesting how different it is in different territories. So I'm not going to do them all. I'll just read out like the top 10, 5. Yeah, probably top 10 is the most interesting. And anything after that that's actually interesting. So obviously, The Last of Us Part 2 took the top PS4 game slot.
Shocking.
Yeah. And then after then in US, Canada, it goes Call of Duty, GTA 5, EA Sports, Minecraft, Last of Us Remastered, Marvel Spider-Man, Minecraft Dungeons, Uno, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. EU had EA Sports, FIFA, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Grand Theft Auto 5, Last of Us Remastered, Minecraft, Days Gone, Marvel Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, and Minecraft Dungeons. So the one that stood out to me in that list was obviously Uno. I'm like, I guess everyone is just...
I mean, like, yeah, apparently it's a very good game. I've seen a lot of people talking about Uno on console.
I guess people are
video game.
People are picking it up during lockdown in the US and whatever else they can play.
I mean, it's an easy game to play with your friends and like catch up and that kind of thing. So, and screw them over.
Yeah, I when I was off the week when I had my teeth out, I brought it on my Switch. Solely because it was like 90 cents on sale or something. And I was like, even if I buy it somewhere else after, I'm not going to be like, oh, no.
Wasting my money.
I wasted so much money on my Switch for that. And I was able, because I was just sitting there watching fucking TV. So I'm like, I can play this at the same time against AI and not feel rushed or whatever. So, and yeah, I mean, it's Uno. If you enjoy Uno, it's fun. But I do think it's funny to read the top 10 for any month and be like, and Uno came in above Tom Clancy's and Red Dead Redemption 2 and whatever else.
And SpongeBob.
Yeah. People don't love the bulb anymore, Maybe not.
No. Apparently no one in Europe likes SpongeBob either, so.
That's true. Didn't even make the list at all, so. Rip.
Yeah.
PSVR games I thought was also interesting. So number 1 in US Canada was Gone, of all things, which I reviewed like a month ago now or whatever else.
Yes.
And I gave it a 7, 6.5, 7, something around that. I mean, it's okay. Do I think it would be the hottest selling VR game in the entire month?
I mean, that's probably the newest game on that list. Or did The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners come out recently?
No, that came out first, but Iron Man... Iron Man was earlier. It stops getting time to go.
Iron Man was only like a week ago.
So I guess maybe that is why nothing else came out. Still, it's hard to believe it sold that much. Or maybe literally nothing else sold that much that it shot to the top. But US Canada's top 10's Gone, Super Hot, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Beat Saber, Job Simulator, Astrobot, Creed, Elder Scrolls, Blood Truth, Borderlands 2. Then EU has Beat Saber at number 1 because everyone's still learning how to pick up the beats. Then they had The Walking Dead, Blood and Truth, Super Hot VR, Gone at 5, Job Simulator, Astrobot Rescue Mission, Batman Arkham VR, Creed Rise to Glory, Doom VFR. Yeah, I guess US people, they just play all the VR games as they come out and they're like, yeah, give us the new shit. Gone, straight to number 1.
Yeah.
Free-to-play games aren't much interesting. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, top 3 in every place. Cool story. Yeah. And then the DLC, I learnt last time we went over this that I was like, there's never really much interesting in there. Like, it's just like Fortnite this, Fortnite that, GTA Online this, blah, 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 blah. The only thing, I feel like they need to start separating the DLC and expansions into like, cosmetic stuff for games like Fortnite and separate that to actual DLC / expansions. Because, like, amongst the list, you can spot Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, which is a full-fledged expansion. But it's only at number 4, then everything else apart from Marvel Spider-Man Seed Never Sleeps and Destiny 2 Shadowkeep on that list is, I believe, just all like cosmetic stuff. And the same's in the EU list. It's all Fortnite, GTA Online, Seed Never Sleeps, Fortnite. I'm like, okay, this seems weird, but yeah. So I feel like we've reached a point where they need to be separated. It's a bit odd. All right. PlayStation Lifestyle Rights. Horizon Zero Dawn's lead writer exits Guerrilla Games, now a narrative lead at new studio in Spain. John Gonzalez spent more than 6 years at Guerrilla Games helping the team craft Aloy's adventures in Horizon Zero Dawn. On the franchise's first title, Gonzalez served as lead writer. With regards to recently announced Horizon Forbidden West, Gonzalez's role was the narrative director. The famed scribe has left the Amsterdam-based studio, though, and now works as narrative director at a new AAA open-world studio in Barcelona, Spain. News of the writer's departure from Guerrilla came courtesy of his updated LinkedIn page via Reset Era. According to said page, Gonzalez joined Guerrilla in September 2013. He served in the role of Horizon Zero Dawn's lead writer until July 2016. From there, he transitioned to narrative director on Horizon Forbidden West. With Zero Dawn in particular, Gonzalez conceived Horizon's foundational world fiction, the Fargo played, Gaia, etc. He's also responsible for the overarching narrative, major characters, and the beat-by-beat quests. In one description of his LinkedIn page, Gonzalez notes that he penned roughly 90% of the main quests. The writer's contribution to Forbidden West seems largely similar. Gonzalez crafted the sequel story, key characters, and designed the main storyline's narrative flow. Working closely with design and art, Gonzalez was instrumental in realizing new locales and tribes. Moreover, he scripted major cinematics, dialogue exchanges, as well as other type of content. So I guess you like unless you want to put your tinfoil hat on, this basically says that obviously the game is at a point where he's not going to be needed anymore, and he's transitioned off and went and joined a new team, which is normal for the narrative type jobs within games, because a lot of the times, unless you're like a key creative director or producer or whatever, writers and stuff, that it reaches a point where what's happening with the game is obviously all technical stuff and updating general quest design or whatever, but not changing the narrative happening within it, and so on and so forth.
Well, I'm sure they needed to a certain degree. Like if they need to cut stuff, they need to change story bit elements to a little bit or move stuff around. But yeah, I'm assuming most of the major legwork has already been done, which we would just expect if they're saying it's coming out in 2021. So yeah, I mean, interesting move to another country in the middle of a global pandemic, but
gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah.
I guess the only other interesting thing I thought worth bringing up about this is that, do you think, so obviously you play Horizon Zero Dawn, we go play Horizon Forbidden West. Let's assume that you love Forbidden West as much as you loved the first game. Do you reckon, knowing that if they want to get straight into kicking around story ideas, because looking at this, that's what happened between the two games. They finished Zero Dawn, they finished the DLC, and then they pretty much entered the stage of kicking around and getting to work on the sequel. Yeah. So, if that's what they end up wanting to do for the third game, as soon as this one's kind of out, he's obviously not going to be there because he's just taken up this new role as narrative director at this new AAA studio. His work there isn't going to be done for many years probably. Yeah, so probably. Yeah, so he ain't going to be coming back anytime soon to help out the third one. Would you think that knowing that the one guy wasn't kind of in charge for the majority of the storylines and the characters, would you go into the third one a bit more worrisome?
No, I mean, it's always a collaborative effort, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Obviously, it might feel a little different, but I can't imagine. Obviously, it'll be a completely different game, so you would expect it to feel a little bit different. So, yeah, not too concerned. I'm sure he's got his own reasons for moving on and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, fair. And now, of course, Ghost of Tsushima, as we mentioned, is out later this week. They have confirmed one thing ahead of time, though, which is that as VG247 writes, Sucker Punch really went all out for Ghost of Tsushima's Samurai Cinema mode. One of the neat features is that developer Sucker Punch debuted at the gameplay reveal was a black and white mode. The studio initially dubbed Samurai Cinema, but later renamed to Kurosawa mode. While developing this filter, the studio decided to get input from Akira Kurosawa's estate. The late filmmaker's iconic work inspired much of Ghost of Tsushima, so it made sense. And it was. The studio showed Kurosawa's estate the game and explained the effect the team is going for with the mode. Quote, "We have the great game that transports people back to feudal Japan and Akira Kurosawa. It was one of our reference guides, especially early on, and how we wanted it to feel," creative director Jason Cornell explained to Entertainment Weekly. As we got closer and closer to making that reality, we were like, what do we call this special mode we created, this black and white throwback? We threw out a bunch of different words, and we thought, what would be awesome would be if we could call it Kurosawa mode. In order to do that, we felt we needed to reach out to the state and see if it's something they'd be interested in. We sent a short video showing what it generally looks like, what it feels like. Cornell added that there's more going on than a simple black and white filter. The mode also applies film grain and attempts to recreate the look of Kurosawa's work with respect to color depth and by ramping up wind speed a little. It also recognizes how the films sounded to audiences at the time by changing sound effects slightly to mimic those coming out of old TVs and radios. So I thought this was interesting, and I'm pretty sure the part they missed in there is owing respect to the people who are on the internet, like myself and several others, who automatically called it Kurosawa mode. You know? Where's our comeuppance? They're like, oh, we had this idea. Did you though?
Maybe.
Did you though before that reveal? Did you? No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe they did.
No.
You sure? They only did that reveal like 2-something months ago.
Yeah.
So this definitely could have been something they're doing in the 5 years they've been working on the game.
No. Bunch of lies in some of that games. Bunch of damn lies.
You're going to blame Insomniac Games.
Yep. Damn right. Fuck them in the Samurai games. We're going to go play Sucker Punch and Spider-Man. Get the fuck out of here. Can't wait to go play Ben's Studio and the remake of Sly Cooper soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Is Naughty Dog working on a new Ratchet & Clank or what?
Probably.
They need to rename that studio the Naughty Lombax.
God.
No? I know what you're laughing about. These are Sony studios, Ash. I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah.
Can you name them all?
That's PS5. Everybody switches IPs.
Yeah, fuck it. It's what they do at workplaces sometimes. They go, oh, everything's too safe here. Let's just fucking chuck the managers around to different places.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens. Because there's nothing like something feeling safe and wholesome. No.
Yeah.
Go shuffle the box. It's fine.
Listen, I'm looking forward to meeting Molecule's Last of Us Part 3.
Fuck yeah. I reckon they're going to do a great job with that third one.
Yeah. Totally very different, but yeah.
Can't wait to pull out my move wands and sculpt Ellie a new life. Kurosawa mode sounds great. Everything in that makes it sound great. I thought obviously just the look was cool, but obviously the fact that they're changing the sound and the wind speed and all that's like part of the update. That's cool. I'm still like, I'm not going to use it the first time playing the game. I just would prefer just to play it the normal way, and then if I go back for a second time for a trophy, or maybe even a year now, or maybe I'll just jump back in and play it for a couple of hours to see what it's like, kind of thing. But as cool as it is, I'm still sticking to what I originally said, which is play it normally. And then last thing I've got for this week is that Sony acquires minority stake in Epic for $250 million. So, they've got IGN's got an update in this article, so I don't know what order I'll reach it. Update, yeah. So CEO Tim Sweeney said that Sony began discussing buying its $250 million stake in the Fortnite creator after the Unreal Engine PS5 demo, explaining, quote, "I guess they liked it." Responding to concerns that there was a financial arrangement made behind closed doors to ensure PS5 tech was used to showcase the Unreal Engine 5 demo, Sweeney countered by saying, quote, serious investment discussions began after the event. So the narrative is that Sony was so impressed with that, and I guess what Epic was saying, it probably didn't hurt that Tim and other people from Epic were like, the PS have for a long time been going, the PS5, like they've very much been on the PS5 hype train a little bit. So the original story is Sony has acquired a minority interest in Epic with strategic investment of $250 million. The minority stake will mean that Sony and Epic will be able to collaborate more closely together in areas of games entertainment technology. Quote from Sony President CEO Kenihiro Yoshida. Epic's powerful technology in areas such as graphic places them at the forefront of game engine development with Unreal Engine and other innovations. There's no better example of this than the revolutionary entertainment experience of Fortnite. I love how he calls it a revolutionary entertainment experience, because at this point, no, it is not a game. Throughout our investment, we will explore opportunities for further collaboration with Epic to delight and bring value to consumers and the industry at large, not only in games, but also across the rapidly evolving digital entertainment landscape. Epic founder and CEO Tim Sweeney added that, quote, Sony and Epic have both built businesses at the intersection of creativity and technology, and we share a vision of real-time 3D social experiences leading to a convergence of gaming, film, and music. Together, we strive to build an even more open and accessible digital ecosystem for all consumers and content creators alike. And then, on top of this, to help make a little bit more sense about like why this move is good on Sony's half, ZugEX on Twitter had a thread and said that Sony made a strategic investment, $250 million in Epic Games to acquire a 1.4% minority stake. The investment cements an already close relationship, is to explore opportunities for further collaboration, primarily around entertainment. Epic has become a major player in the interactive entertainment space with multiple strengths: Unreal Engine, Fortnite, Epic Store, Epic Online Services. 2019's revenue was $4.2 billion. The deal is less about exclusivity of content for either company, but a broader play from Sony Corp as a whole. In terms of gaming, Sony and Epic have already demonstrated how they are working closely to optimize Unreal Engine for PS5, and this will no doubt continue. Talking more broadly, Sony is full aware of the direction Epic is heading with having Fortnite converging games, music, film, and entertainment. This is an area that Sony is also looking to explore with its various divisions of partnerships can benefit both in this case. In terms of the investment itself, Epic has seen its valuation grow 17 times in just 8 years, and its current offerings, mentioned in the second tweet, are in the future direction of not just games but entertainment as a whole. Could benefit Sony more in the future and benefits Epic now. Sony is proactive in investing / acquiring firms that can be both benefit its existing operations, e.g. Insomniac Games acquired for $229 million, or drive future growth, e.g. partnerships with Microsoft to explore cloud-based solutions for gaming with Azure. And with the I couldn't find the tweet. Someone in here did the maths on it and was like, well, how much, like, with the $250 million stake, with like the way that Epic keeps going up percentage wise each year, like how much is of a good play is that? And they basically measured the $250 million to be worth a stake of like $750 million, you know, something like that. Like, it's worth a lot more really if Epic's growth continues as it has year over year after year. So it's actually quite a smart investment, but obviously I'm not smart enough to understand half this stuff, so I need to read other people explain it to me. Either way, yeah, how do you feel Sony getting into bed with Epic quite closely?
I mean, it's reasonably closely. 1.2% doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, Epic is going to be a big player in the next generation with Unreal 5, especially if PlayStation continues to look at bringing their games to PC as well. You would expect they might be going exclusively to the Epic Game Store. I don't know. Is Horizon Zero Dawn coming to Steam? I think it is. It's
Steam. I don't know if it's on Epic as well. I'm not 100% sure. Death Stranding's on both though. I can confirm.
Yes.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting decision. Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show what $250 million can get you.
Well, yeah. But I guess my thing is that I guess if they're talking about more wanting to invest into what Fortnite's kind of doing with being able to have a product that you can then use for like music events or showing movies like they've been doing lately, I'm like, does that mean that Sony will want to, I guess, be like, hey, can you show us how to do some of this? And then Sony may want to build its own game like Fortnite, but not like but I guess if they were to go about it, thereafter, it sounds like it's like PlayStation Home 2 is kind of what they would be after. You know, like they don't want a battle royale. They just want the social aspect type stuff so they can put on concerts inside and whatever else, which makes sense really when you think about it. If they could get that going and get like a PlayStation Home 2 happening, and then you bring in all the different aspects of Sony, they could chuck live concerts for Sony-owned artists, Sony-owned movies, you know, like they show Spider-Man, do events, tie in the game, do all this sort of stuff. So, I mean, you're obviously still years off seeing really the payoff of any of this sort of stuff, but it's interesting nonetheless. No! That's right. You thought it was over. You thought everyone was in lockdown. There's no way there could be any Uncharted news. Somehow Ash found some. So, comicbook.com has an article called Uncharted star Tom Holland shows off his new Nathan Drake look. Video game fans are especially curious to see how Uncharted movie comes together, given both the unexpected narrative of it and the star-studded ensemble cast. Stepping into the lead role of Nathan Drake will be Spider-Man star Tom Holland, a casting choice that fans of the franchise have responded to in wildly different ways. With production set to ramp back up after being delayed due to COVID-19 pandemic pause. How's it ramping back up? Is this a real thing? Like, where are they filming? Broom Closet?
Europe?
They're not okay either. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
They're fucked too. Stay away from me as well. Right. Just clarifying. It looks like we have some sort of idea how Tom Holland will look in the role. Holland took to his Instagram stories to share a brief behind-the-scenes video of what it seems to be in his Nathan Drake hairstyle. But also, that sentence can just sum up Tom Holland's life. Holland took to his Instagram stories. That's, yeah. So he got a picture. It says work in progress. It's a hairstyle. It certainly is a thing. Uncharted will star Holland as a younger version of Nathan Drake, with Mark Wahlberg portraying his mentor Victor Sully. Wahlberg has been attached to the project for several years now, with him planning to play Nathan Sully originally. Yep, you got a haircut.
Listen, you said yourself, it's a slow news week. I mean,
just to clarify, what we're looking at is it is Tom Holland who's got a haircut, and it's, I guess, somewhat more Nathan Drakey.
Kind of. I don't know. I guess it does kind of look like young Nathan Drake's haircut.
Yeah, I guess.
From Uncharted 3 and 4.
3 and 4, yeah.
Kind of, yep. I mean, it's interesting that they're still moving ahead with Uncharted, the movie. I would have suspected that would have maybe hit the back burner, but I guess Spider-Man's going to get delayed based on this if they're going to shoot Uncharted first.
I have many questions. Most of them start with why and end with please stop. Because there's... I understand certain things where it's like... So, for example, and I know this isn't what you want to watch, but they're going ahead with Batman, right? They say, we're starting up shooting Batman again. And you go, but how? And they go, well, we're doing it all in closed sets now. We're not going to film anything in public locations anymore. That's just what we've got to do. And, of course, my response to that is, okay, I guess that's the smarter way to go about it. You can, of course, you can... You then know everyone's tested that's on site, and you can let people in or out, kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm like, will that ruin the quality of the film? However, Tom Holland over here is like, look, not only did I go to the barber this week, but I'm also going to the Bahamas. So let's spread COVID all around the place. And there's no way this movie will make enough money to warrant pushing ahead through potentially killing people. Like, you know?
I don't know. How much money do you think?
Well, I don't think it's going to make that much. I'll tell you what. So, another example, Avatar. James Cameron's getting in his Dr. Manhattan fucking spaceship, and he's apparently flying over to New Zealand, or maybe he's there by now, I don't know. And they're like, we're going to go back and we're going to go
He's taking a submarine.
Yeah, taking his submarine, and then he's going to go film the rest of that in New Zealand. At least then, you're like, those movies will make enough to warrant potentially killing people, you know?
I mean, as long as they quarantine for 14 days, I think New Zealand's pretty safe.
Yeah.
They pretty much cut all restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it right, it probably will work out well for New Zealand. Because New Zealand's like, we're clear. So as long as anyone coming in, which obviously they don't let anyone in, but I guess if you bring in a whole movie crew from Hollywood, you go, you all have to fucking stay here for 2 weeks. You all have to get tested. And then if everyone's good, then I guess you can go shoot the movie.
Yeah.
But Tom Holland? Uncharted movie? Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, they're fine. COVID's not interested in them. It's all good. I mean, it would be hilarious if COVID destroys the Uncharted movie. After all these changes and everything, COVID is the thing that ruins it. That stops
at this stage, reading through this and finding out they're going ahead with it, and he's got a haircut, and it's all very exciting. I'm like, this is the plot of the movie now. Like, they go out to the movies. Someone should be filming a documentary about the Uncharted movie, because at this stage, the more interesting product isn't going to be the Uncharted movie, because that's never going to come out. But it'll be the documentary about them shooting it, and then how they get stuck on an island with COVID and they infect a whole tribe or some shit. And that's secretly.
Listen, it's actually just going to be Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, like, doing the jumping and looking for treasures bit. There's going to be no enemies. It's just going to be Tom Holland jumping from pillar to pillar, like figuring out ancient booby traps. It's going to be great.
Sure. Well, I mean,
2-man film.
In a world where there's no movies coming out anymore, really, because none's being filmed, at some stage that will be the excitement you'd be willing to pay $10 to see. You know?
Yeah.
that's the world we live in. Thank you for joining us this week on Platinum Explosion. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. You can suggest topics or send in questions for the show by emailing mail@explosionnetwork.com with the subject line Platinum Explosion. Until next week, remember, the Uncharted movie is not that important. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.